To be a lifelong athlete, part of that process is preparing your body for the demands of training. This doesn't mean you have to do an hour-long mobility routine before you even touch a barbell or an external weight of any sort, but it means making sure you just work out some kinks before maybe you get in the water for practice for swimming, or you're going to track and field practice, or you're getting ready for your training and you just don't work up to something too quickly. So for the upper body, I love 3 movements, one being the wall angel. If you've ever trained with me, this movement pops up almost every month, and it's very simple, but it causes a lot of frustration for people because they lack this range of motion. They've gotten tight in their shoulders. What I like to do with this one is really focus on low back positioning, and you might even notice me, I have a little bit of asymmetry left to right side. That's something to take note of. It's a great assessment tool to see where I might be tighter one day than the other, and then I can focus on that side a little bit more to make sure I work out all those sort of kinks. I like to do about 12 repetitions, and I'll do about 2 or 3 rounds of this whole prep segment before I get into any overhead or any rowing work, and just working out some kinks, even if it's an off day and I just want to work through something. For that wall angel, really focus on your low back contact with the wall. You can also do it in a standing position. Toes are pointed up, elbows and wrists, try to stay in contact with that wall. Once you're done that, I like to switch over to what I call a shoulder circle. So you're stacking your knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders. You're driving one arm up, rotating around, working through all those little kinks, and then coming back around to the front. It's a nice little challenge to keep your lower body still. You can feel me already starting to tense a little bit, and I try to avoid that as I'm working through this motion. Your hand can shift wherever you need it to, so you can see my palm switches to facing out at some points. Just working through that shoulder range of motion without trying to bail myself out too much as I'm doing it. That's the hard part. It's easy to just kind of swing around and go through it, but when you slow it down, that wall angel and that shoulder circle, done really slowly, number 1, warm you up. My heart's already pounding a little bit. And number 2, it's really going to work through all those kinks that you're trying to work through. So I like to do 6 on each side of that one. After that, I actually like using push-ups. And I know you're going to say, whoa, this is supposed to be prep. This is not supposed to be training, right? Well, a push-up can be your prep. One of my go-tos is just a simple drop-down push-up. So think about tucking your tailbone, get those shoulders in place, and then I like to go 3, 2, 1, back up. You can also go 3, 2, 1, drop the knees, come back up. It doesn't have to be a full press to get back to the top. 3, 2, 1, however you need to get back up. And the reason I like that is it's a slight loading of the anterior part of your body, so we're getting a little bit going there. We're working on stability. Stability should be part of your warm-up. It should not just be a mobility portion. So you have this balance of making sure range of motion is there, but making sure it's just not floppy range of motion everywhere. So you have to have that balance of mobility and stability. So I love using a drop-down push-up. Number 1, upper body, absolutely. Number 2, body positioning all the way through, getting things working together. So I'll do about 6, maybe 8 repetitions of that with a 3-second lower. And I'll take those 3 exercises and I'll do 2 or 3 rounds, and then I'm ready to get into my rowing, my pressing, anything like that. Swimming, running, it's still arm drive. There's still some components there that can really help. So take those 3 exercises and use them for your upper body prep.